Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Shawn's the name and finance is the game today. Let's talk about the recession. Most of you probably remember the 2011-2012 housing recession. Good times, right? Good times. It was basically the biggest reality check that's ever existed, at least in my lifetime, where everyone basically overextended themselves financially and then ended up getting slapped in the face.
The Slap, Part 2, coming soon.
More specifically, people were buying houses they did not need, and more importantly, they definitely could not afford. And don't get me wrong, this time absolutely sucked. 2011, 2012 was miserable, but I actually think it was a good thing. I'll tell you why in just a little bit. The main focus of this video is to talk about the next recession, when it's gonna happen, and what we're gonna do about it. And let me tell you, it's coming. Alright, so before we talk about the next recession, when it's going to be, what we're going to do about it, we need to know what a recession actually is. A recession is an economic decline in GDP over the course of 2 consecutive quarters. A recession is not a holy shit moment where everyone is selling everything they own for dirt cheap. In fact, the word recession should be banned because all it's been since 2012 is a headline that has absolutely banged for media companies. We've literally seen recession headlines every single year for the past 10 years, and it makes sense because it raises their ratings a ton. People want to know when the next recession is, and fun fact, nobody knows. No one knows when the next recession is. Not Elon Musk, not the Pope, and definitely not me. But you can speculate, and more importantly, you can examine previous trends so you can get an idea of when the next recession will occur, which is what we are going to do today. So first, you're going to want to hit that like button. Secondly, we're going to be talking about when I think the next recession is going to occur based on the past. And 3, we're going to be talking about what we can actually do so we're prepared for this recession and we actually capitalize off it, opposed to absolutely losing our booties. So, like the video. But okay, here's why the recession back in 2012 was actually a good thing. Now, this is the stock market for the last 100 years. Not the real estate market, the stock market. Each one of these dips can be classified as a recession, and more importantly, a correction in the market. When fake money is constantly being pumped and shoved into our economy, it leads to a falsified increase in the market, which basically makes everyone think, oh, our market is booming, let's keep feeding the beast. Until everyone realizes, oh shoot, it's actually not way up here. Everyone's getting slapped in the face going, we are overvaluing everything. The market tanks back down and everyone goes, oh my God, we don't have any money. But then people go, oh, we can actually buy some things for really cheap. Now the market starts correcting itself and bringing things back up to what they're actually worth. The important thing to note is we are always bouncing back higher than we fall because our market goes like this constantly, but we're always moving in that upward trajectory. If we didn't have all this fake money, fake propaganda, and all this BS going on in our market, we would see a graph that looks like this. Just a perfect graph, always moving upwards, because that's essentially the trends. They always follow that trajectory. However, we don't live in a utopian society. We're human. We make tons of mistakes. But that's why I'm trying to link the words recession and correction, because that's essentially what it is. Once we make a mistake, we correct ourselves back up so we don't make that mistake again, and we're always moving upwards. At least that's the goal, and that's how we've been doing for the past 100 years, so I'm assuming the next 100 years is going to be fairly similar. But bringing us back to our main point, when is this recession going to actually hit us? Everyone is looking at graphs going, oh my gosh, we've only been moving upwards, we're about due for a recession, it's been 10 years, every 10 years we have a recession, we're about to just tank back down into the Stone Age right now. And that's why the year 2020 has a massive target on its back. But does that mean that on January 1, 2020, the housing market is going to take an absolute poo back down to where everyone thinks it's going to go? No. In fact, I am confident that the housing market will not be the reason for the next recession, because remember how I said we always learn from our mistakes? Well, yeah, back in 2012, there were like no restrictions for home loans. Mortgage lenders could literally do things like stated income. What's stated income? Stated income is what it sounds like. It is written down income. So if you came to me and you said, hey, Shawn, I want to get a home loan for this $1 million home, can you hook me up? I'd be like, yeah, I guess I can get you something. I mean, I'm just going to write down here that you make $25,000 a month. You cool with that? And you'd be like, yeah, I really want this house. So yeah, just whatever you got to do to get me the loan. And I go, okay, cool. Here's your $1 million loan for this home you do not need and cannot afford because all you actually make is $5,000 a month. Go have fun with your home. And this sounds absolutely crazy, but I promise you, this is exactly what was actually happening back in the day. Hence why the bubble absolutely burst. People started foreclosing. They couldn't make their mortgage payments because they couldn't make it in the first place. So it wasn't that they had this major hardship that happened, but the economy took a slight dip and everyone goes, holy crap, I cannot make my mortgage payment. I'll just let the bank have it. Then housing prices just went boom, crashing down. And honestly, why did we think something good would happen out of that? Honestly, we are really dumb. But since then, we have learned from our mistakes a little bit, and we have gone, you know what? 2012 really sucked. We don't want that to happen again. So we're gonna put in a bunch of restrictions and guidelines in the home loan process so that won't happen again. And I'm telling you guys that this happens regularly, and it's been happening regularly since the crash. I get emails probably once a month or twice a month from HUD or Fannie Mae, some of the high regulatory companies, and they are basically putting into effect these laws and restrictions, so it's a lot harder to get a home loan. You cannot do stated income anymore. You cannot do some of these things that allowed pretty much anyone off the street to get a loan back in the day. And a lot of people might find this kind of frustrating because when you actually start the process to go qualify for a home, you're gonna be like, why can't I afford this home? It's very hard to buy a home. And like anything in this world, guys, it's a constant balance of when you go to look for a home, you're gonna wanna qualify so you can buy a home. So the dream of home ownership is a thing, but then at the same time, we don't want a repeat of 2012. So it is a constant balance. So to recap, the market is not going to repeat itself like it did back in 2012, but so many people are going to say, well, Shawn, you work in real estate. Of course you're going to say that. Every realtor, every escrow officer, every mortgage lender, everyone always says, no, the market's strong, you should be buying. Everyone wants to pump in all this fake propaganda. And you're not wrong. You are totally not wrong. Everyone is going to be pumping fake propaganda down your throat till the end of the day. But I will say that I don't get paid as a mortgage lender unless you actually make your monthly payment. So if I put you in a loan program that you don't make your monthly payment on, I have to give my commission back anyway. So really, what's the point in that? Bottom line, there's a lot of laws and regulations in place so that 2012 doesn't repeat itself. So wait, Shawn, are you saying that there's not gonna be a recession? Oh no, I'm 100% saying there will definitely be a recession. So what is going to cause it and when is it going to happen? Well, again, nobody knows. But if I had to drop my 2 cents into the bucket, I would say that it's going to be coming from the absolutely dumb loans that people are getting right now, whether it's in the vehicle market or the personal loan market or the student loans or peer-to-peer loans. There are some stupid loans being offered right now, and people are taking these stupid loans, and I ultimately think that's going to be our demise. Trust me, I see credit reports every single day, which means I see people's debt every single day, and there are so many people in some really rough loans right now. So let's throw some toys on the other end of these loans because no one likes a loan. Everyone likes the toy they get with the loan. So look at this beautiful Tesla, all right? You can get this bad boy for what? $2,500 up front and then $941 a month for 72 months. Not only is that monthly payment absolutely insane for a car, but you're gonna be paying $7,441.38 in interest alone over the course of that loan. And you know what's the really sad part about this whole thing? Is that is a really good deal. Tesla has some of the best financing available with low interest rates and a low term. I'm seeing car loans that are like 96-month terms and rates that are like 3 times as high as the Tesla interest rates. Crazy. Okay, absolutely crazy. But let's look at something that looks crazy. All right, so this is absolutely just ignorant in my opinion. Now, I love wakeboarding, so check out this epic boat. All right, it's not even brand new, by the way. It's a 2017. Now, if you wanted this bad boy, you're basically looking at the price of a cheap condo, at least in the Phoenix area. Yikes. So you're probably gonna wanna finance it. Now, I've done a ton of research on the average interest rate for boat loans, and we're pretty much looking at this, a 4.87% interest rate on a 20-year loan, a 20-year loan. That means over the course of the loan, you're going to be spending $67,438.38 in interest alone on a recreational vehicle. I'm sorry, but these are some of the dumbest financial decisions you can possibly make. And it's because everyone says, well, our economy is booming right now. We've got the money to do it. Yeah, why don't you go do that and then let me know where you're at in a few years. And like, honestly, I've even seen loans for like 25 years on a recreational vehicle, 25-year term. Are you kidding me? That is absolutely insane. Look, I know these toys are expensive, so if you want to finance it, by all means, go finance it. It's going to be very hard to buy this cash. I totally get it. So finance it. But don't finance it into anything longer than a 10-year loan or like an 8-year loan. If you can, keep that term as low as possible. I'm telling you, you're gonna be saving so much money over the course of that loan if you bring the term down a couple years. This is the kind of stuff that's gonna be causing the next recession. People are not going to be able to make these payments once the market takes a slight dip. There's a little bit of some uncertainty in the market. People are going to go, holy crap, I don't think I can actually make this payment. They're going to start defaulting on their debt, and then downhill spiral, here we come. It's going to hurt. But when is this going to specifically happen? Well, if you learn from the past, you'll notice that GDP, the stock market, and the housing market all consistently have dips, leading up to, of course, a presidential election. Why? Because elections cause massive uncertainty in the market. A president has a huge pull on the economics of a country, okay? We don't know if this president is going to be promoting economic growth or if they're going to be hindering economic growth. We really don't know, which causes a ton of uncertainty in the market. And what does uncertainty mean in the marketplace? That means that people don't know whether or not the economy is going to be going up or down. So they go, oh, I'm scared. I'm going to hold on to my money. I'm going to spend less in the marketplace. That means our GDP goes down. If our GDP goes down for more than 2 quarters, what does that mean? We get to bust out the word recession. And this isn't just a speculation. This is a tried and true trend that has consistently occurred. Uncertainty in the market is huge when presidential elections come up. And uncertainty is honestly the main determining factor in any financial endeavor. Look at Bitcoin, for example. When everyone thought Bitcoin was like the coolest and baddest thing alive, and there was zero uncertainty in Bitcoin, everyone was like, oh my God, I need to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. Look at how quick it's shooting up. Everyone is pumping in all this fake propaganda and fake news and all this BS, and everyone's buying Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin. But what happens? People go, holy smokes, this is the highest it's ever been. I really don't think it's gonna go any higher, so I'm getting a little bit uncertain about it. I'm gonna hold on to some money. Maybe I'm gonna pull some money out. I might sell some of my Bitcoin. And then what happened? Bitcoin corrected itself and it went way down, and now it's starting to level itself back up. Guys, this happens in almost any financial market. There's only so much fake news and fake BS until that bubble pops or until people go, holy smokes, I just got slapped in the face. Why am I spending $300 for a burger at McDonald's? It's way overhyped, way overpriced. No way. That is why corrections are a good thing. So when is a correction going to happen? When is this recession going to happen? Well, again, nobody knows. Nobody knows, not even me. But if I had to make an educated guess on it, I would say it's going to be in Q2 of 2020, because based on previous trends of the last 10 to 20 years, that's more than likely what happens once a presidential election comes up. And I say the odds are even better because we're the highest we've been in a really long time. So again, we're overhyping that Bitcoin. We're overhyping that burger at McDonald's right now. And I think it's going to be correcting itself soon. So Q2 is going to be my estimate, but let's say I know what I'm talking about, which is probably not the case, but let's say I know what I'm talking about. That means it's coming up relatively quick. How do we start preparing for that? Well, since it probably won't be a popping of a bubble or a bursting of a bubble like it was in the past, we really don't need to do a whole lot of things. There's 2 things in my mind that will set you up for success for this next recession, and they're very simple. One is going to be paying off your debt. Pay off any debt that you have. Start with the lowest debt and work your way up, just paying that sucker off. Look, you do not want debt when a recession happens because you're going to go underwater, you're going to not be able to pay anything, and it's going to be a serious struggle for you. So just pay that debt off, okay? Number 2, you're going to want to start saving your money a little bit. I'm not saying don't spend any money, but you're going to want to save a little bit of money in your bank account because once the recession does hit, you're going to want to capitalize on all the people who didn't save money. and overextended their financial endeavors, and bought those really stupid toys. That way, when the recession does hit and people start defaulting on their Tesla loans, and they start defaulting on their boat loans, and they start foreclosing on their homes because they want to keep their boat over their home, me included, you can start picking up these things for dirt cheap, buying low, selling high, because everyone's selling them, the demand goes down, the supply goes up, economics 101, you're gonna end up making some good money on that. So I highly recommend you save some money. And honestly, if you wanna be prepared for the next recession, that's it. Pay off your debt and buy some undervalued assets so you can turn a poor thing, a recession, into a good thing for you so you can capitalize on it. Because again, we always learn from our mistakes, so the market will correct itself. So you might as well take advantage of things when it's cheap, like buying some cheap real estate and building your wealth that way, so when the market does correct itself, you're in a better position than you were before. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents on the recession. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. I also spent a decent amount of time on this video, so I would really appreciate it if you can hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you're new around here, guys. I'm always creating great content to not only grow and build your personal brand, but to also grow your bank account. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Dumb assets, am I right? Dumb assets.